Right.
Right then, I'll see you later.
Yeah, okay, dude. Second time I've had a go on this bike. I went out on it yesterday, and my GoPro, I'm having so many problems with this GoPro. I should have gone ahead of this car, shouldn't I? As you can see, BMW's brand new R18, and like I said, I went out on it yesterday, had all sorts of problems with my GoPro, corrupted files, so fingers crossed I'll get the footage I need today so I can do a proper video for you. And today isn't quite as pretty as it was yesterday, a bit overcast now. But look at this thing. Oh, it's just a joy. It's a, you know, it's a cruiser, 100% cruiser. It's a joy to ride at sensible speeds. I don't think I've ever wanted to ride a bike at sensible speeds in my life before. So what's it like to ride? 1800 cc's. You think, oof, that's going to be intimidating, but it's not at all. It by any means. Yes, it is torquey. BMW claiming 158 torques at, I think, 3,500 RPM. And which is quite interesting, they're claiming 150 torques from 2 to 4,000 RPM. So a constant 150 from 2 to 4, but a peak at 158 at 3.5. 96 horsepower, you know, but it's not about that. It's not about any of that, really. What you do notice is the suspension is on the sporty side. It's quite, you know, I've ridden some Harleys in the past and they're quite floaty, and where this is quite firm. And when you get a bumpy road, a UK bumpy road, you can feel, you know, there's, if I slam on the brakes, there's like next to no dive in the forks, which is nice. I like it. I like the way it handles. I don't like bloody speed bumps. Bloody speed bumps. You know, why are they necessary? Anyway, another thing you've got to get used to when you first get on it is the way it steers. Obviously it's very long, you know, the forks are raked right out. What a horrible road, you know. So you have to sort of be prepared or change your riding style a fraction for the way it sort of steers into corners. But you know, that's to be expected. You know, it's a cruiser type bike, but it's super smooth, not intimidating at all. 1800 cc, you know, you think to yourself, wow, that's going to rip your arms out your sockets, but nothing like that at all. You know, I'm in 6th, 40 mile an hour, just open the power. I mean, look at those cylinders. They're insane. If you can see, I don't know if you can see, let me just concentrate, get around these corners a second. But that cylinder is slightly in front of that cylinder. You know, it's the nature of, you know, the twin. You know, one cylinder's, they're going like that, aren't they? Ground clearance is obviously an issue, but there's something you get used to, and it's not about that, is it? It's not the sort of bike that you buy to go around corners. But I love it. I love the styling. I love the way it looks. When I first saw the first press pictures of it, I was a bit concerned because it showed the floating single seat, and I thought it was going to be like the Triumph Bobber, where there was going to be no pillion option, which concerned me. But obviously, you know, the redesign has sorted, or the production design has sorted that out, which I'm pleased to see. I was concerned that it wasn't going to have a pillion seat, because my wife likes to come out on the back. Unfortunately, I haven't got any prices for you. You know, okay, the bike is 18,995 in this form as it sits. So this is the BMW R18 first edition, 18,995 UK on the road. Turn this thing on. So I'm running around in my classic leather jacket, which I've had for, I don't know, 30, 35 plus years. Have we got somewhere here that I can stop? Yeah, that looks right there, doesn't it? We'll go down here, down by this fence, out the way of people, and we'll have a little walk around. Paddle, paddle, paddle. Okay, that'll do. Side stand's nice and easy. It's very long and it's a bit spring loaded, so you do have to be, the first time you put it on its side stand, you think, oh, is this going to keep going or not? So if you watch it, look, it drops like that, but it's secure, you know. Oh yeah, this is nice. Can you see the character? They've kept that in there. I was concerned BMW were going to take that away. You know, the torque reaction. Can you see it? Oh, but it's not massive. You know, it's manageable. Keyless ignition. So, right, let's have a quick walk around the bike. Let's have a chat. It's beautiful, isn't it? So, twin disc, Hayes calipers, BMW's choice of calipers these days. 350 kilos, so you know, they're not massively powerful, but they're enough to bring it to a stop. Massive disc on the back, you know, so combination of front and rear brings it to a good stop. But it is a big old lump. Love the fork legs, this old style fork leg. Love the look of that. Massive cylinders, and it's just a beautiful thing to look down on when you're riding down the road. Just beautiful. There's slight bits of metal flake in the casing there, so when the sun's shining on it, yeah, you can see these little sparkly bits in the metal. It's a nice little thing, that. 1800cc, 1802cc. Shaft drive, none of this chain belt drive rubbish. Nickel plated, you know, so that should keep it nice and clean and shiny. It's a lovely thing. It's a nice detail. There's going to be options all over the place, aren't there, for this bike? There's foot plates available. Like I said, ground clearance. I've touched the pegs a couple of times already. You know, ground clearance is a thing, but it's like any bike like this, you get used to it. You know, it's not a bike for go hooning around corners, is it? It's a bike to go for a ride and chill on, and that's just what this bike is like. There must be a massive flywheel in there, because of the way it sort of produces its power and then slows itself down. It doesn't decelerate. Again, we'll talk about that when we're going riding down the road. Fishtail, for want of a better word for the pipes. First thing you got to change. That bike needs to. It's a travesty that it doesn't make the noise that it needs to. Obviously, you know, there's laws and things for noise and regulations, EU laws and that. But first thing you got to change. Get rid of them pipes. Put something a bit tasty on. You know, and then that bike is going to sound absolutely incredible. Right, this one has got a reverse gear. It is an option, and I believe it's about a £900 to £1,000 option. There's no prices from BMW at the moment, so you know, all the prices that I give you, you know, don't hold me to any of them. You know, the guys at Motorrad weren't really able to tell me anything really. Like the single seat unit and the pegs, they've got no prices, no time of availability, nothing at the moment. It's literally, this is what, 3 days after the bike has been launched in the UK. Right, yeah, reverse gear. So it's this here. Like I said, it's an option. You click it down like that, and you use the starter motor to you know, the battery in the starter motor to maneuver the bike backwards. I've just sort of turned it round on this surface, and it doesn't need it on like that, but if you're on a slight hill with a gravel drive or something, yeah, possibly you're going to need the reverse gear, because there's nothing, you know, when you're manhandling it like this, you know, there's nothing here to sort of push it back. It's a bit too low. DIN plug, so you can plug your phone in or any accessories you want. So you've got a DIN plug there, but it's all clean, isn't it? I love all, you know, all the fuel injection, everything has been tucked away. No heat from this engine at all. You know, I can put my hand on there. I've driven a couple of miles. It's warm. It's very warm to the touch, but when you're sitting on it, a set of lights, you don't get what you think you're going to get. It's not, you think, oh, that's going to radiate some heat, but there's nothing there. Honestly, you can just feel a little bit when you're riding it down the road, a little bit on your shins, but that you really have to look for it. They've got dispersed the heat really well, really well. I think it's beautiful. Some lovely touches and some lovely details. Let's make sure I don't go backwards when I push the button. Right, the first edition, R18 first edition. BMW are telling me, or Motorrad are telling me, that is quite important. That bike in that colour is only going to be run for 1 year. That's what they're telling me. So the first edition, if you want it in that classic BMW early R range colours, you've got to get that one there, because as soon as they're gone, they're back to the reds and the golds and all the other things that come with you know, the R's. And that, I think, is just, that's beautiful, isn't it? In that colour, it's meant to be in that colour. It's stunning. It's stunning. There's all sorts of, I've seen Roland Sands, they're doing billet aluminium cases to bolt onto the end. You know, at the moment you can't find anything for it, but give it a year, there's going to be all sorts of goodies for these things. You know, different seat units. There's going to be these bolts here, they're going to be for bags. There's going to be screens. There's going to be, like I said, cases, you know, footboards, all sorts of things for it. So you're going to be able to personalise it and make it your own. You know, it's quite a special thing. If I had 19 grand, which I don't, I would have one. I like it that much. Genuinely, I like it that much. Please, BMW, shine your favours on me and give me a long-term demo. There's going to be different models. You know, there's going to be a bobber. You know, there's going to be all sorts of stuff for this bike. You know, so expect big things to come out of this. Obviously, they're going after a market, aren't they? And I think they've, you know, for the first go and the first model, I love it. I absolutely love it. 30-inch inside leg I've got. I'm 5'8". My feet are flat on the floor, and I can stand up, and I'm off the seat. It's really low, really low. Oh, I love looking down on that motor and that tank. It's just the way it spreads off. Personally, I'd probably change these bars as well. I'll get some nice wrap around, you know, type. But again, this is all things you can do yourself, isn't it, and personalise. But that's what I'd do. I love they've tucked all the wiring up into the bars, you know, so they've hidden it all away. You know, there's little details like that. Nice touches. It's clean, isn't it? You know, you look around the engine, there's no wires hanging out anywhere. It's just, You can't see none of the fuel injection. It's so clean and tidy. But there we go. Okay, that's enough fun then, because all I want to do is ride it. So let's go and ride it. Like I said, keyless. Hit the button. What we got? Heated grips. That's the engine start and stop. And then obviously engine start. You've got to pull in the clutch to start the bike. Okay, there is an electronic rev counter. Okay, gear indicator. Oh, this is a nice touch. So there's 3 engine modes for the bike. You've got rain, rock and roll, which is quite cool. Rain is obviously rain, rock is your sport mode, and roll is your road mode. Okay, so rain, rock and roll, and I'm currently in rock mode, which is the sport mode, and it's nice. It is nice. Like I said, rev counter. Look at that torque reaction. I love it. I was concerned that BMW would make it too smooth, and I'm pleased that they haven't. Really am. It's even nice to sat at a set of lights. Feet are flat on the floor. The bike's vibrating about. I'm just not in any rush. And the looks it gets. Obviously it comes with a 3-year warranty, like all BMWs do these days. Peace of mind. And I don't think people make enough fuss about the BMW warranty, because it's not just a warranty, it's the actual the whole support structure that comes along with it. It's if you have a problem, you know, if you're abroad anywhere in the world and you have a problem, you can phone up BMW and they will come and get you. They will come and they get your bike home for you. You know, if they can't get your bike fixed, they will give you, I don't think they can give you another bike, but they can certainly give you a car so you can complete your journey. You know, there's no other manufacturer that does that, is there? There's no dealer support like that with any other manufacturer. More people need to make a fuss about that, about BMW. It's one of the reasons why I buy into BMW, because of that whole support structure that they offer. It's excellent. It's an excellent service. A couple of things that I've noticed, they're not bad things, but a couple of things that I'm going to make you aware of. Firstly, that front tyre gets red hot. Obviously there's a lot of weight on the bike, and I was pulled over on it earlier and I touched the front tyre and thought, wow, that's really warm. So I reckon it'll go through front tyres quite quick. Obviously time will tell, and I'm shocked it doesn't have cruise control. Again, I don't know whether that will come on different models, but there's no cruise control, and according to BMW at the moment there's no option for cruise control. So yeah, I am surprised at that, but it's lazy and effortless, and I just don't want to go quick on it. I'm just happy just to bop, 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 up the road. You know, I can open the throttle and I can feel it pull in, and it's nice, progressive, punchy power, but it's not something that you think, oh my god, hold on. None of that. It's just a lovely thing. When I do notice, okay, because obviously I ride a GS, I ride I ride a bike with a Boxer twin engine all the time, and what I notice with my GS is when I slow down, or when I'm doing sort of 60-70 mile an hour and I shut the throttle, the deceleration, because of the nature of the Boxer motor, is quite strong. None of that with this bike. There's hardly any engine braking whatsoever. It's very smooth. If you like these bloody speed ramps, it's a very smooth ride all the way up through the gears. Clutch is nice and light to pull. Look, one finger. No massive boxer clunks. See, 20 mile an hour, third gear. This weather's changed. It was bright sunshine a couple of hours ago. I mean, look at this. Look at it in this light where we're going through the trees. Look at that. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up quite as well as the eye, but it's a stunning thing to look at. It's a beautiful thing. I don't know if I said it earlier, but it's not normally my bag, you know. I'm into the adventure sport bike market. The cruiser market I never normally can get excited about. I don't know where to go really. Let's just have a little ride around. But I'm actually really enjoying this. Yeah, I found that interesting about the first edition, that they're only going to run a year's worth in this colour. You know, that might change. Obviously, you know, this is what Motorrad are being told at the moment. The first edition is an important thing. Okay, so the bike at the moment is obviously, it's a demonstrator. It's probably been ridden around roads like this most of its time. It's done 600 miles so far, this bike, and at the moment it's returning 46 to the gallon, 46 miles to the gallon, which I think is pretty respectable, to be honest, out of something with an engine this big. Oh, pegs down. But you get used to that. You get, you know, it's like any bike, when you get one new, you get used to the quirks of it, don't you? And you start to learn what speed you can go into corners and around roundabouts and things like that. So, you know, that shouldn't, you know, it doesn't put me off. That's for sure. I love it. I just love the look of this thing. I mean, look at that. And I know, you know, sorry guys, I know this isn't the ideal test route to show you really the bike. Yesterday's video would have been so much better, but major catastrophe, and I do apologise for that. And I haven't got the, in fact, to come down to Bristol again, you know, so I could come out and do another video, and I haven't really got time, you know, to do a big one. And here we are, Bentley, McLaren and Lamborghini and BMW. You wouldn't want one of them dropping on you, would you? And here we are, too short a test ride. And like I said, you know, when you get one, just expect to throw money at it. Just expect to throw money at exhausts, at options, at accessories, because it's, you don't kid yourself, it's something you've got to do, because it's meant to have all the goodies on it, isn't it? Don't be scared that it's 1800cc. It's really nice. Just be prepared that it's a long bike. It's slow to go through corners. The ground clearance is very low, but you know, just keep that in your mind, and you'll love it. You know, it's all these little features, Berlin built. You know, there's going to be billet aluminium bits and bobs to stick on it here, there, and everywhere, isn't there? God, I just look at that. Look at that engine. See what I mean about the cylinders being slightly offset? I love it. I think they've done a great job. Yes, it doesn't look like the original press pictures, but it can do. You know, that's the thing you got to remember. You know, there's going to be all the toys. I love the shaft drive. I love that they've made that a feature. Got to remember to take the key out of my pocket. I've ridden away from here so many times with keyless rides, and I've got the demonstrator's key in my pocket still. I don't think 19 grand, you know, compared to the opposition, what Harley's, you know, something like that coming out of Harley, looking at 25, aren't you? You know, 25. I know where I'd put my money, but there we go. All right, okay, like I said, thanks for watching. Love you all, and I'll speak to you guys soon.